This is what I have done so far regarding the styrofoam drawing that I started at during a karaoke night. I believe it was at that VFW that Mom took me to a while back, some days ago at least. I primarily worked on the styrofoam drawing in the morning / early afternoon. I think I recall waking up at about 6 in the morning, and it was around 10 in the morning when I had the last of the granola cereal along with some coffee. This is a sort of sauce Dad made using both spaghetti sauce and hamburger meat, from what I recall him telling me. I woke up about half an hour ago. It's currently 10:29 p.m. I set an alarm for 9 p.m. I ended up sleeping an hour through it. It was about 3 p.m. after some hours awake, in which Dad and I went out for first some driving practice. We first did the driving practice on that high school parking lot, in which there were just one car on the backside of that lot. From what I recall, it was a blue car. It just meant that we had to be more careful on one of those turns. In regards to the parking lot, it gave me room to experiment a bit with just letting the wheels slide through my hands in order to complete a turn. It's better to let the car do the work. And it proved, this method proved pretty successful. Especially important when Dad and I transitioned to some live streets near his route as a mailman. Yeah, I made those turns as before, essentially. And at the very start, essentially, I got a bit of practice going through a traffic light intersection. That is, stopping at such an intersection, waiting for the light to turn green, and then accelerating with a gentle pressure in order to go through that intersection as the light was green. In this case, we went straight. I got a bit of freedom choosing exactly which turns I wanted to do in a couple of moments. At times, it felt like I was a bit on autopilot. Kind of like it was just happening in a way. But there was an improvement in my driving. We're currently working on my angles when it comes to driving, as well as getting better at applying gentle pressure to the brake in order to ease into brakes, and gentle pressure to the gas pedal in order to start driving and to make turns. Dan and I then went over to visit his parents. And we gave as a gift to Dad's mom the landscape styrofoam drawing I finished yesterday. And Dad wrapped it up, I think, a bit before we left, around 3 p.m. It was 4:30 p.m. by the time we got to Dad's parents' place. Grandma, at the end of the visit, which lasted maybe half an hour to an hour, this piece of cake, which I believe she baked herself. I also got a physical paper newspaper with the 2-page front and back comic section. I didn't know they still did the Peanuts comic strip. Yeah, I primarily liked it for the illustrations they do for that comic. As for that day's Dilbert for today, I like how whoever Dilbert was texting to arrange a meeting appointment, they kept bending the rules in regards to setting the time, such as saying yes when asking if they either wanted a meeting on either Monday or Tuesday, and then picking a time in the morning when he asked for a time after the early afternoon. And then just outright broke the rules by picking Friday. I found that pretty interesting. I have no idea what even made them suddenly jump to Friday. And when Dilbert said either Monday or Tuesday, hey, it was around this time as well as the drive from the parking lot driving practice, in which Dad put out some sneakers he found off of there another time onto the parking lot in order to serve as guides when it comes to my turning, in order to turn and to stay in my lane while doing so. And I accidentally hit both of those sneakers. One toward the end of the lot that goes into a sort of driveway. The other more into the parking lot in that regard. More toward the center. I ran over both of those sneakers at least a couple times. At the end, I helped drive Dad to make it easier to pick those sneakers up. during the live roads practice, there was a driver who put their car to ahead at the intersection when I made a turn this way. I think that's known as taking a right. Thus making it so that that turn had to be wider than it otherwise would have had to have been. Dad had to take control of the wheel a bit from the front passenger seat, but otherwise I managed to handle that unexpected situation and make the turn. And that's the thing about live roads, as I said at one point during the live road practice. I don't think we're in the parking lot anymore. And that refers to all the unexpected things that can happen on the live roads. All the additional things you have to take into account for. After our visit of Dad's parents, we went over to Salvatore's. In order to get some food. I got one alcoholic drink, and it was something I hadn't gotten in a while. It's something with some coconut infused into the cocktail. While at Salvatore's, Dad first ordered some fried dough, which is kind of part of their secret menu. They were pretty generous with the powdered sugar and powdered cinnamon today. There were a couple of cases in which I bit into a piece of the dough and had a bit of an explosion of powdered sugar. That then got on a bit on my shirt or my pants. In those cases, I simply wiped away the powdered sugar / cinnamon with some napkins. Then later, as I was maybe about halfway to finishing that one alcoholic drink I got, Dad I believe used some points to get his points to get a large pizza with the toppings. I believe he got it on an Alfredo sauce base with pepperoni and bacon. Much of which, or all of which, was suggested by me previously to get on a pizza. I got to meet a new person, an older man. I told him some things that had been going on recently with me, such as my graduation from college, and the fact that I draw on styrofoam pieces with Sharpie markers. When Dan and I got home, I think maybe it was about it was around 7. We brought home the pizza entirely, though we haven't had any of the pizza yet, as far as I know. I felt tired by the time I got home, so I finished the lo mein, had a couple sips of this, though I haven't finished it yet. This kombucha. Then I took that nap, where I intended to wake up at 9 in the evening, but woke up at 10 at night. Actually, I'm pretty sure 9 is also night.